Hello, welcome to another Soulprint Mini. Thank you very, very much for being here. To my donors, thank you so much. Amazing. I'm so grateful and appreciate that. To all the commenters, all of the encouragement, all of the compliments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so Supreme Court again. Um, they have Jack Smith made a request that, and he jumped courts, went straight to the Supreme Court and said, you need to tell us if, in fact, Trump has this sort of blanket immunity that prevents him from being charged for any crimes while he was in the presidency. Now, in fact, Trump feels that he should be excused from any crimes for life because he, sat in the Oval Office for 4 years and ate hamburgers. And the Supreme Court has agreed to take a look at that. And so I want to take a look at them. But there's two other things that are going on that are a little bit concerning. There is a case that the Supreme Court is taking up, and I'm honestly, my brain just went blank, but if they rule in favor of the plaintiff in this case, it's going to have a way of impacting a lot of the already determined, I think, cases. So I'm going to get more information on that, and we'll revisit that because I just blank. Also, the Supreme Court is looking at trying to figure out whether or not the abortion pill should also be restricted, because you know what? Women should have absolutely no choices. It was interesting. I saw a Rachel Maddow's show this past Monday, and she was talking about how one of the first things that happens with autocracy is they go after women's freedom of reproductive health choices. It's an interesting sort of energy that surrounds that, right? It's like as soon as you have a leader who is very, very puffed up on his own powerful, manly, masculine authority, he moves to stomp on women some more. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And frankly, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that flies as, the astrological energy shift, particularly in the spring. And there is, sort of an increase of, or an ongoing increase of sort of divine feminine energy. It should be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, I am looking at the Supreme Court specifically with regards to Trump claiming he has immunity. Now, just before I sat down to record this, a appellate court in New York again agreed with the lower court and said, no, you don't have this immunity in the defamation case against E. Jean Carroll. So he's not getting very far with this immunity, but boy, he sure does like to yank it out and try to use it. So let's look at the Supreme Court and what they're going to do about this matter. Because let's face it, it's a very Republican court. There's 3 justices on there who, are kind of, I'm not going to use the word beholden to Trump, but, definitely there perhaps is a desire to please the man who elevated your station in life to a lifetime appointment of the Supreme Court of the United States. So, Supreme Court and Trump pertaining to his immunity from criminal liability. And apparently this thing is expedited, so they're moving ahead on it. very, very quickly. In fact, I think like on Wednesday, like next Wednesday, there's something coming up. And apparently, see, this is the thing. Trump's lawyers have said that, for every day, minute, hour, whatever, that, Trump is under all of this suspicion. It's impacting him. It's damaging him. It's damaging his reputation. But then they turn around and are going to say, well, yeah, except when it comes to this sort of immunity case, and frankly, all the other cases, yeah, we just don't want any of that to take place until 2025. So on the one hand, he's being irreparably damaged, and on the other hand, he wants to sit on his fat butt, hoping that he wins the presidency. All right. Supreme Court immunity Trump. Supreme Court immunity Trump. Supreme Court immunity Trump. Okay, here we go. We're starting off with the Eight of Cups. I think that the justices on the Supreme Court understand that kind of either way they rule, they're going to make somebody angry. And if they could have walked away from this thing, they really would have, because the stuff that's going on now that continues to draw attention to them, it has the possible ability to impact their abundance, whether that is financial abundance or reputational abundance, whatever it is. They are mindful of the fact that people are watching far, far more closely than they ever have, I think, probably before. And what they're finding out is that, in fact, you know what? There is not a great deal of support for swords. The SCOTUS has been really damaged, and they're in their own way trying to find a way to start repairing that damage. Now, listen, they're not doing a good job of it, and honestly, they're not trying very hard. But when it comes to this Trump and immunity thing, I'm getting the death card. Okay, so I don't believe that ultimately they are going to say, yeah, absolutely, you have all of this immunity. It would be crazy. It would make no logical sense, because what it would do is then put presidents above the law. And, he wasn't acting as a president when this pertaining to the March trial, the J6 trial. He wasn't acting as a president when he sort of got everybody whipped up and told them to go march on the Capitol. He was acting as a defeated candidate. And so I think that the Supreme Court is not going to agree that he has all of this immunity. And let's not forget, all of the lower courts in civil are saying he doesn't have it. This is ridiculous. Why on earth would he even think he has it? Okay? For the people of the United States, their ruling is going to support the fact that you are a country of laws, and those laws have to be respected. So looks like they're actually going to do the right thing. And I'm telling you, the reason for it is because they feel their own power slipping. And, this is the thing, right? I mean, they're not dumb. They read the newspapers. They listen to television. They know that part of what Trump is planning in terms of, what happens when he wins re-election, um, could impact them, right? Because that's one of the things that autocrats do and dictators do, is they completely strip the courts of power. And basically, they tell the courts, you agree with me no matter what. So the justices, in their own way, are not looking to shoot themselves in the foot. They're not looking to do anything that's actually going to lower or diminish the power that they have. All right. So it looks like he's not going to do very well with that immunity case in the end. But got the Six of Pentacles here. It does not feel like this is going to be a like a unanimous decision. This feels very much like it's going to be a split court decision. But based on what the energy is right now, that decision is going to go in Jack Smith's favor and against Trump's. And honestly, that decision, it's not that it goes against Jack, it goes to Jack Smith's favor, but really when you get down to it, it kind of goes to the favor of the American people and democracy. So that's what I know about that. Now, listen, there's a lot of static out there in our world right now. And there's a big push to really, really get the message out about what Trump intends to do on the first day of his presidency and beyond. There's a lot of information out there now about this Project 25 and the Heritage Society. And it has sort of this effect of kind of getting us like stirred up and agitated and worried and concerned. Okay. Now, for anybody who has viewed my other channel, Soulprint Insights, they may very well be familiar with this, but I'm going to read a paragraph of one of the channelings I did because it talks about this lower and higher vibrational energy. And, I keep telling stand in your light and stay positive and don't kind of, get into those lower vibrations. But I thought that I would read something that could clarify for you or give some additional support to the way you view it. Okay, so here we go. This was previously channeled, my reading specs. So I'm just going to flat read it, and I will return to these kinds of readings and information in the new year. All right, and I will start putting them out weekly, I hope, or bi-weekly. Okay, here we go. There are some interesting reactions to lower and darker energy forms. For those who are vibrating at a higher level and have asked for and believe they are protected, when confronted with darker energy, will often experience physical reactions, including a racing heart, a dry mouth, accelerated breathing, anxiety, those kinds of energies. Now, what they in fact are feeling, particularly with this rapid breathing and the dry mouth and that heart rate, what they're actually feeling is a rush of higher vibrational energy, which is moving into place to increase their resistance to lower energies. Think about that for a second. When you start getting that panicky feeling, it's help arriving. And it's your job to not sort of travel down into the worry, anxiety, fear levels. Okay. Now, those who are comfortable in a place of lower vibration will, when confronted with lower energies, tend to absorb more of that energy in a like attracts like situation. Okay? So this is how the whole Trump MAGA thing became amplified and bigger, because the anger attracts more anger. This is often why negative situations can quickly accelerate into even more of the same. This can be the reason that two individuals, when confronted with the same situation, can and do respond in completely opposite ways. Some will connect with fear and panic, while others will respond with calming and healing energy. Some rush towards lower energy vibrations. Hold on here. I'm going to backtrack. When you have lower energy vibrations that are surrounded by higher energy vibrations, and this is sort of the point I really, really want you to get. When you have lower energy vibrations that are surrounded by higher vibration frequencies, those people will often react with anger and aggression in an attempt to bring the energy down to a level that is within their comfort zone. Should there be enough light energy to surround the darker energy, it can have calming effect, which will then assist in lowering the fear and the panic. So this is one of the things that, frankly, I found really interesting when I was doing the Masudius panelings, is that at a higher frequencies, people who function at a higher frequency, they can drop down into lower frequencies. They can do it actually really easily. Fear, panic, anxiety, whatever. But people who stay in a negative, lower vibration energy, they cannot rise up to the higher vibrational energy. It is sort of something they have to, it's like they almost have to let go of some of the lower vibrational energy to make room for some of the more positive energy. So that's the reason everybody keeps saying, stand in your light, don't get strong, do things that keep you happy and light and laughing and joyful, because that expands that vibrational energy. Lower vibration cannot survive at a higher vibration. So the only behavior that lower vibrations can display is this attempt to draw everybody back down. This is what you see with Trump, with Republican politicians for the most part, with MAGA people. I could go on. So when you are starting to feel overwhelmed by some of the intense energies that are not high, flood yourself with more light, because that blocks it. And the more light you are then releasing, and all of everybody's light is attracting everybody's light, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. Okay? That's what I know. I hope you found that sort of insightful. And thank you for the responses that said, yep, you want to see more of these kinds of readings. So as I said, I'm going to take a look at that in the new year. Please do not forget to add your questions, either for Pendulum Friday or for for mini readings. Okay. All right. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on Pendulum Friday. Bye for now. Bye-bye.